Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates, guys. We continue our conversations this morning, and we are all gonna keep speaking as it pertains to AI and AI's interruption or disruption of industries. This morning, we're speaking particularly of drama, the arts, and film. This morning, I have the privilege of sitting and chatting virtually with Mr. Teemal, who is the communication consultant and AI strategist. Good morning and welcome. All right, are you able to hear me? Let's just check that audio.
Yes, I'm hearing you. Hearing me?
Excellent. So we're talking about AI disruption and how AI is now deeply entrenched in many sectors, whether it be finance, education. But specifically, when we're chatting to you this morning, we're talking about its integration into film and theater, the arts. So you have a project that you're embarking on called Clip. But tell us a bit about how AI has now revolutionized the way we do storytelling, film, and has truly been able to enhance the orange economy.
Right. So a couple of years ago, a company named OpenAI launched a product called ChatGPT. About after November, will be 3 years. I immediately jumped on board. I recognized the both and the value because it was something that I was looking forward to in terms of what LLMs and image generators and of course text to video and stuff would mean for the future. Fast forward to today, and I can say to people right now that Trinidad and Tobago, the world, film and storytelling has been democratized to the point where I am presently running a program with a number of different people, and we are teaching AI filmmaking to persons. The first group is in Point 14, but we're looking at doing some stuff in Port of Spain with other television stations and so forth, right? So I understand the concept of disruption, but I think we should try to see the positives of it in that it democratizes storytelling, and what that means is that quote unquote the average person could now make their books, they could make their films, they could sell those via streaming platforms or other creative platforms and so forth. Um, so in a nutshell, yeah, that's basically it.
Excellent. And now, when we're talking about community engagement, engaging youths, and getting them excited again as it pertains to the film industry in Trinidad and Tobago, tell us about some of the work that you have been doing.
All right. So a number of years ago, I it was a project teaching storytelling to and filmmaking to a group of people in enterprise. And one of the questions they asked me was, "Mr. This we will do with this?" And it was sad to say, all the storytelling, all the things that I teach, there was no outlet for it. Now, what we have and what I can assure the community is that what we have is the ability to create film products, finished film products that can be, as I said, shown on television stations, streaming platforms, or other, distribution channels. I would have sent you all my project, the Eulogy. I believe it'll be shown sometime on the station. It was shown on METV, and I think next week TTT will be showing it. I have another AI film project that will be shown this, I think it's Friday, for Indian Arrival Day on TTT as well. But what it is, it has AI filmmaking has totally revolutionized storytelling and filmmaking because it has lowered the costs and it has given accessibility to everyone. That has impact on schools, on education, on business, on on everything basically. So yes, it's going to be disruptive, but it's you have to see the positive in it. It is also going to be what you call a revolutionary step in opportunity. So that when you talk about communities that might not have the might not have been as fully subscribed as others. You're talking about giving people an opportunity to earn incomes, to get themselves out there, to basically participate in the pie that is Trinidad and Tobago, the economic pie.
So let's talk a bit about the community learning in artificial intelligence production project and how it's going into the community to engage youths and other, artists into teaching them about storytelling, writing, editing, film using AI. Tell us a bit about this project.
Right. So I started. This is something I've been, passionate about for years, and along with some partners like Errol Fabian, Gael Television, Gael the Caribbean TV. Sorry, I recently started a project, as I said, a pilot project in Point 14. Our first session was last Thursday, just before we came on. Errol and I was chatting, and our next session is this Thursday. What that entails is I basically come to the Errol organized the place, and I came to the facility, and I basically showed them what was possible. A lot of what is happening now is happening at the speed of light. So whilst I was actually telling them about the particular apps that they have to use and so forth, Google dropped in, and it literally revolutionized what I was teaching. So it's a very, very dynamic field, but primarily what I am doing is exposing and making people aware of what is possible. And once that is done, it is incumbent upon them now to take that information and run with it. But as it stands right now, my goal is to make people aware, to teach them AI filmmaking, and then unleash them onto the national public, and literally have people making thousands of AI films. So entities like Tobago Updates, TTT, CNC3, TV6, Dial the Caribbean, and anything across the Caribbean as well will have the opportunity to showcase local and or regional products.
Right, and how has AI or how can AI help to maintain that cultural authenticity within film production locally, while also creating a higher level of content, increasing the quality of the content that is being put out?
Well, that is exactly what AI allows us to do. For instance, project that I would have sent you all, it was, if you look at the every comment that I've gotten about the people who were created by the AI, by the image generator, people said, "Oh, I recognize that lady. She look like a lady from South. Or I know her. She's a Pereira." Or, instead of calling names, because the look was genuine. Then, using what they call a voice changer, I was able to generate voices that sounded like Trinbagonians. Now, there's a concept in psychology called mirroring, and that basically means is that people like to see and hear things that look like them, which is why, if you recall, the Nigerian films did so well in Trinidad and Tobago, even though they were pretty low production value. They did very well because people like seeing people that look like us. The same thing happened with why we like black comedies like Sanford and Son and Jeffersons and Failure. I mean, apart from them being very, very funny, it's very relatable. And even with the Indian movies that people have, well, I would have grown up with when every Sunday evening. So the 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 capacity to tell quote unquote our stories is absolutely has absolutely changed, because not only is AI capable of high production values, and exactly what I mentioned just now there, showcasing our people that look like us, sound like us, it's also relatively cheap, and it's very, very, very quick to do. So, as I said, what this does is it revolutionizes storytelling, and my goal is to share that capacity, the ability to do that with the average person, so that they can now, and I was speaking with my cousin Richard yesterday, and I was telling him about, you know, why it is we do things that we like, what we do. Now, there may be a little boy in Bethel or little girl in Charlottesville or somebody in Canaan or in Matlat or in Toko or in, middle of Laventil who might turn out to be the greatest storyteller this country has ever seen. In fact, not just this country, the world. But we will never know that until we give them the opportunity. And I'm why I'm so excited about AI filmmaking is because the opportunity is here right now.
Excellent. And how can persons get involved with the current clip project?
Right. So you can call me on 776-1845. That's 776-1845. Or you can email me at syncpro@gmail.com. And when you all show the Eulogy film, which I sent you guys, the information is also at the end of the project.
Excellent. And what type of partnerships are you trying to foster with this project?
Well, I think the first thing I've partnered with well, two TV stations at this point in time because I need to get the word out. I need to get the ideas out. I've also we had a change in government recently. I've also been speaking with people either proxy to the government or in the government itself, and I've gotten a pretty good response thus far because I think people understand that if we like I was very deliberate when I named the project Clip because I know that there was this idea of emptying the clip, right? And yeah, we need to do that. We need to protect our people all fully for that. But we also need to understand from the other side of everything, we have to give the people who might be susceptible to violence and getting involved in crime and so forth an opportunity to fill the clip. So you have to fill the clip whilst you're emptying the clip. And filling the clip means that you have to create opportunities for people. What AI filmmaking and what it is we are showcasing to people, it creates opportunity right now, right now. You don't have to wait. You can, I mean, you spend a week with me, and before the end of the week, you can basically go out there and start making your own films. That is what
Excellent.
is important to me.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take a quick break right here. And when we come back, we'll give people a bit of a sneak peek of that AI film. All right. So see you soon.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion starter.
Yes, I would like to say something. I know most of y'all don't know me.
Who the hell is she?
I'm the person who deceased Enid hired to deliver her eulogy.
Die pulled the Zulat now.
She was a daughter, a sister, a wife, auntie, a co-worker, boss lady, and most importantly, grandma. We's always crying and doing it.
When I was begging you to come and visit me before I died, you ain't rich yet, but it's once at a boo-hoo-hoo in the people church. Yes, you, Sandra, with your hypocrite tears. It's shame your shame.
The food.
Guys, we want to thank you so much for sticking with us this morning. No, very interesting stuff. And one of the things that we want to, highlight as we were discussing this morning is, that cultural element, ensuring that although we are using AI, being able to maintain our cultural identity while being able to boost the quality of our production. Welcome back to you, Mr. Teemal. I don't know if he's still on with us. My producers will let us know if he's still on with us.
I'm still here.
All right, right. So as I said before, as it pertains to being able to maintain that cultural identity, but still increase the quality of our production. So would you say that this type of content would be used to, let's say, take an idea to be greenlit by a bigger production studio to then, have the film actually be filmed and created into a real movie?
Okay, so I will answer it this way. they will in the Eulogy on the AI films you will see now, it will be the worst that you will be able to that they will ever produce. It's getting better on a daily basis. So my question is, yes, it can be used as a speculative script or a speculative project to get bigger funding, but why do we always see it from that perspective? Why not? This technology allows us to create, blockbusters or any type of other films. So when you talk about the production values, they are getting higher and higher and better with each passing week. And so the question I would ask is, why wait? Because I was in LA 9 years ago. I was invited there, and people were saying, "Oh, you could do this and you could do that." A lot of talk. But what eventually happened was I recognized that there was a bunch of gatekeepers even in Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, I wouldn't get into my history with the film company, being a former director, acting CEO, and that kind of stuff. But I can tell you, Trinidad and Tobago is is pretty much in the same situation. You have a clique of people controlling the gates, and I am saying no gates. Let's kick it down. I could have kept this technology and made things for myself and that kind of stuff. But the reason I chose and I choose to share it and what do we call it, make others aware of it, is because I do not want to be the gatekeeper. I do not want any gatekeepers. I want us to kick down the doors. So just like everything else in life, they will have people who would be better at something and who would not be as good at something. The idea, however, is that if we share this type of technology that's available to the vast majority of Trinidad and Tobago, we not only get to leap ahead about 20 years, we get to basically scrape our entire country, every nook and cranny of the country of talent. As I said, there may be a little boy in Bethel, a little girl in Charlottesville, somebody in Palatuvier, who in Canaan, who might turn out to be the greatest storyteller that the world has ever seen and generate films that will impact the community and the country to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars. The film industry worldwide is worth about between 50 and $100 billion a year. I am saying that what we have right now is an opportunity for for the majority of Trinidad and Tobago to participate in that industry. And even if you're not making, $1 billion, the idea, the concept of AI filmmaking is that it's relatively pretty cheap to do. And all it takes is an individual with passion and drive. And of course, with as mentioned, an internet connection and some very cheap subscriptions to apps, and you can produce film. As an example, this film that I produced took me about 5 days, and it cost maybe about $500 to produce. In 5 years ago, if I told you I produced a film like this for 500 US, you'd have said that is insane. How do you do something like that? And I'm saying that the more people get on board and the more people get aware of this, whether it's in Trinidad and Tobago, in every little village and nook and cranny of Trinidad and Tobago, the better it is. Because we never know what is out there.
Right. Well, I mean, we want to congratulate you for your innovation and, your ideas of intertwining local film with AI and not getting left behind with what the rest of the world is doing. And again, you have a number for persons to contact you if they are interested in partnering, maybe to hold seminars, to do lectures, to be a part of the CLIP project. Give us your number one more time.
776-1845, 776-1845. I'm Tim, right? Or you can contact me on email at syncpro, synchpro, @gmail.com.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to, you having a positive influence on the youth and helping them to expand their mind, especially as it pertains to what's possible. We should have the 6 and 7-year-olds creating their own film and their own ideas and bringing their
Absolutely.
imagination to life and really getting to, AI helps us to put a visual to our thoughts. So have
Absolutely.
all those imaginations and, the wild thoughts that,
So before I
those
go,
at that tender age have, that they can see it come to life using AI.
I just want to say this is not just for filmmakers, this is not just for creatives, this is for parents, this is for business community, this is for teachers, this is for anybody who has ever had an idea in their head and they say, hey, you know what? I have an idea for a story or a book or whatever it is, and they want to execute that and actualize it. This is for them. And it's not very expensive and it's not very difficult to do. Simple as that.
Excellent. Well, Mr. Teemal, sorry, we want to thank you again for your time this morning, and I hope that your project remains successful. That is the CLIP project, and you can be a part of that. You can also follow him on his social media and see everything that's happening there and all that they are doing. Well, again, we want to say thank you to you, our viewers, this morning for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing to continue to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island. Again, I am Shenell Felix, and I want to say thank you to you and have a great day.
New morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion